Imagine for a moment falling off of a cruise ship. After surfacing from under the dark water, you look up at the mammoth ship. That is now fast leaving you behind. You see lights on in people's rooms. And imagine people laughing, dancing, eating dinner. Nobody has any idea that you are in the icy cold ocean. This is where you will stay. This is where you will die. Freezing alone. Imagine being alone on a boat with a murderer. Imagine a cinder block being tied to your ankles, while your hands are tied behind your back. You are pushed off the side. You are sinking. You are feeling the maximum effect of panic and fear. Everything is dark. You are dead. Take a deep breath. You are about to go under. In this video, I will share with you 4 horrifying stories at sea. Two years ago, I went scuba diving for the first time in my life. I was on vacation with my older brother, my mom, and my mom's boyfriend. Before getting on this boat to go diving, my brother and I had done a lot of sitting on the beach, soaking up the sun, drinking, and checking out women. We spent most of the vacation doing our own thing, while my mom and her boyfriend were off doing other stuff. On our third day, we made the decision to go diving. It was pretty expensive, but we had saved money specifically to do this. There were, I'd say, around a dozen people total. On this good-sized boat there was an instructor that really seemed to know his stuff. I think he said he had been scuba diving like 1,000 times or something insane like that. When we got out pretty far away from shore, we dropped anchor, and the instructor was telling everyone how to hook up their apparatus and all the gear. When we finally got in the water, it was awesome. My brother and I saw amazing things. We were under for a good amount of time and ventured pretty far away from our boat. Too far. I surfaced first, and when I did, I didn't see anything but rippling water all around me. I spun around, and the boat was not there. My brother surfaced and did the same thing I did before. He spoke, "No fucking way." Our idiot instructor left us there in the ocean. Even if I tell you how scared we were, the feeling of helplessness, you could never come close to really imagining what that feels like. We spun around until we saw the boat off in the distance, moving away from us. I was quiet during this whole ordeal, but my brother comforted me by saying things like, "They'll be back when they do a head count. Don't worry, and it's just a stupid mistake. They're coming right back." He was right. We saw the boat make a large turn around and was coming back in our direction, but not straight at us. It got closer, and eventually everyone on board spotted us, and the boat turned to come pick us up. The instructor was very apologetic, as you can imagine, and he told us we'd have free diving for life for this mistake. I was silent, but my brother is a real nice guy, and told him it was all good. After getting back to dry land, we both agreed that we won't be doing that again, regardless of it being free. This happened when I was in college 4 years ago. I went to a university that was very close to the ocean on the East Coast. I made friends with some people one weekend, and one of the guys in the group invited me to go out on his boat with him sometime. I need to clarify, I am male. He described his boat to a bunch of people and was very proud to have it. It sounded like an expensive sailboat. By the way he described it, I'm not really familiar with boats and hadn't ever been on one since a cruise ship when I was 11. This guy said his parents had bought it for him, And that had made sense, because he was known to be a spoiled kid. He was nice though, and the idea of cruising around some Saturday afternoon, drinking some beers on the ocean, sounded quite appealing. After that conversation, I saw him around the school, but didn't talk to him much. Until one day, he approached me in the library and asked if I still wanted to go sailing. I jumped at the opportunity and said, "Sure." It sounded awesome. And he told me that the following day, he was going out on the water, and it would be a perfect opportunity. After a lengthy conversation about how sailing works, and him assuring me it was safe, and that he had all the proper training, I told him that we'd meet at the docks the next morning. That night, my roommate asked me what I was doing for the weekend, and I told him that I had made plans to go out sailing with this guy. He freaked out on me and told me he really wished he could as well. My roommate and I were really good friends, and it sounded way more fun if he were to join us. So I invited him to come, and was sure that the other guy would be cool with it. The next morning, my roommate and I grabbed some coffee and some beers, and we ate breakfast and headed over to the docks to meet this guy. We were pretty excited, and when we got there, we followed the directions he gave us and found his boat. It was a huge orange and white sailboat. We stood on the dock next to the boat, admiring it, when the guy pops his head out from somewhere and immediately shows a look of concern on his face. He jumped off the side of the boat and onto the dock next to us. He looked at my roommate and then asked me, "Who is this?" I told him it was my roommate and that he was a cool guy, and he asked if he could come along. I told him I didn't think that he would mind, but the guy looked very annoyed, and it was awkward as hell for a few moments. The guy kept looking back and forth at the boat, and then us. He took his hat off and rubbed his head, like he was really stressed out. Eventually, he sighed and said it was fine. A few hours later, we had been on the boat for a while. We had been drinking, having fun, having banter, and the water was pretty smooth sailing. The sun was shining bright on us, but the guy kept acting a bit off the whole time, which sort of killed the buzz. I figured it was because I brought my roommate. After drinking about 3 or 4 beers, I felt the courage to ask the guy what was wrong, and if he was still pissed that I brought my roommate. He responded with something along the lines of, "Aw, it just ruined my plans." My roommate chimes in with a smile on his face and asked the guy what plans. I could tell my roommate thought it was funny. It sounded like the guy wanted to be alone with me. The guy looked at him. "Well, because you're here. I can't kill him." This took me off guard completely, as I felt fear and unbelievable relief hit me at the same time. My roommate and this guy started cracking up and burst into laughter. My roommate obviously brushed it off as a joke. I didn't know what to think. Was this guy serious? Did I avoid being killed by this asshole? Or is his sense of humor just that weird? I believe I got my answer when I went below the deck a few hours later to grab another beer from the fridge. Next to his fridge was a brown, swinging door that led to a private bedroom. I was feeling the beer pretty good at this point, and without thinking, I pushed the door open. Laying at the foot of the bed was a big ass cinder block with some yellow rope tape, and what looked like a recorder of some sort. I sobered up immediately after seeing that and felt pretty sick to my stomach, and I wanted to be off that boat as soon as possible. Part of me felt like I should go up and confront the guy, but decided against it because I didn't know what he might have been capable of. After what seemed like hours and hours of being with this guy, we finally made it back to the dock. We said our goodbyes, and on our way back to the room, I told my roommate what I'd seen. He couldn't believe it. I'm pretty damn sure that my roommate saved my life that day by going with me. I shit you not, I never saw this guy again on campus. What he had planned I don't want to know or think about. Hello, everyone. I wanted to share my frightening experience with you. When I was a teenager, I went on a trip to Hawaii with my immediate family. We went to the island of Oahu, where we stayed in a pretty nice hotel in Honolulu. On one of the days there, I walked from our hotel down to Waikiki to chill on the beach. I brought a bag of snacks and a big orange inner tube. After sitting in the sand for about an hour, I wanted to go out under the water and relax. I took my tube out, and I was relaxing and really enjoying myself. I put my head back and looked up at the sky. The sun was bright, but was blocked by perfectly placed clouds. I started to fall asleep before I lifted my head and realized I had drifted really far away from the beach. The waves were becoming too much, and I was having difficulty paddling closer to shore. After trying and trying, I started to panic. When I saw that I was actually moving farther away, things raced through my mind, and all I could think to do was scream out for help. I shouted a few times, and people heard me. I saw a lady off in the distance point at me, and could see that she was getting the attention of people around her. I didn't give up paddling, and my arms were aching. Then out of nowhere, a guy on a wave runner pulled up next to me. I was so relieved, and he told me to get on. He tied a red rope to my tube, and we flew back over to the beach. He told me to be more careful, like this wasn't a big deal. I told him he saved my life, and he just laughed it off. So there you go. Don't fall asleep while relaxing on a tube in the ocean. In Waikiki, I had a very frightening thing happen to me when I was 17. I was on a cruise ship with my cousins and my aunt. The cruise ship was gigantic, and it seemed like a whole city of people were on it, with us. One night my cousin, Bill, and I were swimming on the pool on the top deck when we both noticed a cute girl. She was swimming alone. Bill and I were daring each other to go talk to her. I'll be honest, I was too chicken, but Bill did end up swimming over to her to introduce himself. They both eventually ended up swimming back to me, and it seemed like this girl liked me more than Bill. I did have a more defined body, and I'm pretty sure that's why she showed more of an interest in me. We all swam together for a while, but after a period of time, Bill's mother, my auntie, found us there, and she told us that we needed to go change for dinner. We both said goodbye to the girl, and I asked if she wanted to meet us back at the pool later on. She said that she'd love to, and I was very happy. So we went off and ate dinner and went back to the pool. About 2 hours later, we waited and waited, but the girl never showed up. Belle and I decided to go wander around the ship, with the hopes of seeing her somewhere. We wandered the huge ship for hours, but we never saw the cute girl. It got quite late, so we hesitantly gave up, and we went back to our rooms to go to bed. We slept in the following morning, but eventually got awoken by a knock at the door. The cruise ship employees were looking for a girl that had gone missing. My heart sank to my stomach, and I just knew that the guy at the door was referring to the cute girl. We told him that we met her at the pool, and we actually had to go speak to the captain himself to explain it as well. After that, nothing happened, and we continued our trip as normal. I remember looking around constantly, hoping to see her in the crowd, but I never did. What really gets to me the most about all of this is that they made a huge deal about this. Every employee on the ship was looking for this girl until we docked, and after researching it weeks later, I found out that she was still missing. To this day, they have never found her. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to give a special thank you to my good friend, Mortis Media for joining me. The ocean dominates our planet with coverage of 71%. It is not natural for us to venture into it. If you find yourself in the middle of the vast blue, be it on a cruise ship, on a friend's boat, or even just floating on an inner tube, be cautious and always remember the ocean is a dark, mysterious place, and it demands our respect.